Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 6:55. Calling our regular commission meeting to order. Mauricio?
Thank you. Commissioner Stuyvesant?
Here.
Commissioner Joseph?
Here.
Commissioner Vizcarra?
Here.
Vice Mayor Lama? Here. Mayor Svechin?
Here.
All members present, ma'am.
Okay, great. If everyone could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. David, if you would lead us once again.
I don't think so.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I believe we have an invocation, Father.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for the invitation. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and everybody else. From three different authors, I chose to write a prayer for peace in this time of need for peace in the world. O God, Creator of the universe, who extend your paternal concern over every creature and who guides the events of history to the goal of salvation, we acknowledge your paternal love that despite the resistance of humanity and in a world divided by strife and discord, you bring reconciliation. Renew in us the wonders of your mercy. Send your Spirit upon us, that we may work in the intimacy of our hearts, so that enemies can begin to dialogue, so that adversaries can shake hands, and so that people can find harmony among themselves, so that everyone can commit themselves to the sincere search for true peace, so that all disputes may be eliminated, so that charity may overcome hatred, so that forgiveness may overcome the desire for revenge. Lord Jesus Christ, who is called the Prince of Peace, be our peace and reconciliation, who so often said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." Enable all men and women to bear witness to truth, justice, and brotherly love. Banish from our hearts anything that could endanger peace. Enlighten our rulers so that they can guarantee and defend the great gift of peace. May all people of the earth feel like brothers and sisters. May the longing for peace be present and endure above any situation. O Lord, you see how everywhere the winds have burst and the sea is convulsed with great violence of the rising waves. Order, we ask you to calm the winds and the seas, restore the peace between us and the peace that you can offer us, and it restores social harmony. Under your protective contemplation and your inspiration, men and women can return to order, overcoming greed, becoming what we should be, a reflection of God's love, justice, charity towards our neighbor, making orderly use of all things. Make your kingdom come. May all be able to recognize that they are subject to you and that they must serve you because you are the truth and salvation, that with you everything that is done in vain without you. Your Lord is just and paternally kind. You are always at our side with your strength and your abundant power to help us. Life on earth is a war, but your help is to conquer what we need. You sustain the weak and crowned them with victory. Lord, peace comes from you. May peace reign in every heart, in every home, in every nation. Let hate turn into love, war into reconciliation, and violence into compassion. Guide us towards justice, understanding, and unity, so that together we can build a world where everyone can live in harmony and security. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Mauricio?
The first item that we have is item 3A, the approval of the minutes for the May 15th regular city commission meeting.
I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mauricio, can you play the opening?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your attendance and thank you for joining us tonight. Before we begin, there are a few important reminders regarding conduct during our commission meetings. Please ensure all electronic devices are turned off or set to silent mode to maintain the integrity of our proceedings. Mutual respect is the foundation of productive discussions. We ask that everyone remain silent and attentive when someone is addressing the commission. Clapping, applauding, heckling, or any verbal outbursts, either in support or opposition of the speaker, are strictly prohibited. Any individual wishing to address the commission must fill out a public speaker's card and submit it to the city clerk before the relevant item is announced. Each speaker is granted a maximum of 3 minutes. Should you exceed this time, the chair will notify you to conclude your remarks. Speak directly to the agenda's points. Remain concise and avoid redundancy. Should an individual speak without the chair's permission or continue speaking after a warning, they may be escorted out of the chambers. It is essential to avoid making impertinent, slanderous remarks or becoming boisterous while addressing the commission. Such behavior may lead to being barred from future commission appearances, unless the majority of the commission members present vote otherwise. The presiding officer may disallow signs or placards in the commission chamber. Please exit the chamber quietly and without disruption. The goal of our meetings is to facilitate public input and participation. However, disruptive or disorderly conduct hinders our collective objective. Individuals who want to speak on an item on the agenda are asked to fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. Speakers are asked to speak to the issues, make comments concise and to the point, and refrain from making duplicate comments. All speakers will be limited to 1 3-minute comment per item. If you exceed the 3-minute allotment, the chair will advise you to finish your comment. If you speak out of turn without permission from the chair and/or you do not cease speaking after 1 warning, you will be escorted out of chambers. In order to maintain orderly conduct and/or proper decorum at these meetings, anyone who interferes with the orderly process of the meetings after a warning may be removed from the meeting and may be barred from further appearance before the City Commission, as permitted in S-286, 0114, FS and SS 74-5 and 74-21 of the City's Code of Ordinances. Any necessary removal will be made at the direction of the mayor and will be carried out by law enforcement or a designated sergeant-at-arms. It is essential that attendees adhere to these rules of procedure to ensure productive meetings that serve both the public and the City Commission. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding.
Thank you.
Okay, Mayor, we are to section 4, the order of business. There are 3 revisions to tonight's agenda. The first one is for item 6A, which was an amendment or a revision to the amendment on the text to the future land use element in the city's comprehensive plan.
I thought we're not going to be discussing.
We're not, but we're going to bring it up just to clarify the record
I
of why
see.
it's
Okay.
not.
But
being
we are,
considered.
if I may clarify my prior statement, since the prior vote was at the LPA, all the LPA does is advise the commission. So we will call it up again and just advise that the LPA, it was a 2-2 vote,
Right.
and then the city commission can consider it at the same time, even knowing that the LPA
Which is us.
is recommendation, exactly.
Right. So it's just for the
So it
procedural.
will be called again.
Okay, got it. All right. Go ahead, Mauricio.
Okay. 9B has also been revised, and 9E has also been revised, the resolutions.
Okay, and all of those revisions are up in front?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just for anyone in the audience, if that's all in the back for you, if you would like to take a look at those. Okay. Mauricio,
Okay. So I need a motion to approve the revisions to the,
I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Yes.
thank you. Okay, so we are now section 5. We have a zoning application. If you give me one moment, I'll read the introductory statement. So, ladies and gentlemen, this evening's agenda has a zoning application. In these matters, the City Commission sits in a quasi-judicial capacity. The decision of whether or not to approve a zoning variance is not a popularity contest, but must be based upon substantial competent evidence as it is presented tonight. If you intend to provide testimony on any zoning application, you must be sworn in by the city clerk, and you should also fill out a public speaker's card and give it to the city clerk before the item is called. We will first hear from the city staff and then from the applicant. After this, the mayor will allow anyone from the audience who has been sworn in to provide testimony. The zoning applicant has the right to cross-examine any witness and for rebuttal. Please make sure that your comments are concise. So I will read the preamble. In accordance with the LDRs of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, all items to be heard today have been legally advertised in the newspaper. Notices have been mailed and posted on the properties. All persons wishing to speak at this hearing, please raise your right arm to be sworn in. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. So item 5A is a zoning application number PZ 2025-02, mentions that Aquilina balcony enclosure for unit 3001.
Okay, Amy?
Good evening, and can you also read in the companion TDR resolution? I think it's 9A.
Yes, 1 second. Nine A is a resolution approving the purchase and assignment of TDRs in the amount of 313 square feet of floor area ratio and 0 dwelling units from the city's TDR bank account to Nina 1801 Corp., authorizing the Development Services Director to withdraw 313 square feet of FAR and 0 dwelling units from the city's TDR bank account and assigning 313 square feet of FAR to the property located at 17749 Collins Avenue, Unit 3001. And before you go in, Amy, are there any ex parte communications that need to be disclosed for this application?
No. Anyone?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This is zoning application PZ 2025-02 for a balcony enclosure at the Mansions at Aquilina project for unit 3001. The request is to modify the approved site plan for the Mansions at Aquilina and to purchase and assign transferable development rights from the city's public TDR bank account to increase the floor area of unit 3001 by 313 square feet. The price for purchasing the TDRs will be a total of $39,125. The site plan modification will increase the overall floor area for the Mansions at Aquilina development from 435,699 square feet to 436,012 square feet. Here is the existing floor plan, and highlighted in the northwest corner is the balcony that exists today. And here's the proposed floor plan. It will be enclosed to create a new bedroom. If this application is approved, the remaining floor area available for purchase through TDRs at the Mansions at Aquilina project is 92,179 square feet. The request is consistent with the comprehensive plan and the land development regulations, and I'm available if you have any questions.
Okay. Are there any questions from the commission? Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Take a motion.
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph.
Yes.
Voting for both 5A and 9A.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Vice Mayor Lama. No, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. Excuse me. Commissioner Stuyvesant.
Yes.
Commissioner Vizcarra.
Yes.
Mayor Svetchin.
Yes.
The application is approved 4-0.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, so for ordinances for first reading,
Yes. So ordinance for first reading is 6A, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending the text of the future land use element of the adopted comprehensive plan, providing for repealer, providing for severability, providing for transmittal to the State Land Planning Agency, providing for an effective date.
so since at our last meeting we were a tie on this, we're not necessarily going to speak about this, but I
But
would like,
no, you should consider,
we can,
yeah, you're hearing this as publicly noticed for you to hear this as a city
Well,
commission,
okay,
and you are now advised that the local planning agency was tied in their recommendation. So to the extent that it still needs to go forward, and then you can revote on it.
okay. So just for the public, we are also the local agency that had that discussion. It's a little bit confusing, so we recommend or not recommend to ourselves, and we were at a tie. So we're going to sort of do a little bit of a do-over, but do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I will take comments.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
for myself, I would like the consultants to come back to us for next month with revisions outlining the plan for bonuses and to specifically to modify the language to make it apparent that bonuses are not a given.
Okay, Commissioner Joseph, 1 second. Amy? Yeah,
Okay, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. So this is an ordinance to amend the future land use element of the comprehensive plan. Tonight, we're joined by our consultants, Jeff Kadams and Caitlin Forbes with Complete Cities Planning Group to go over the items. The local planning agency, it was a tie on this one. I just want to reiterate for the record that this was based on the commission's discretion to clean up certain future land use districts. And we're bringing this in stages because to bring it in one big package would be a bigger push and I think would confuse the effort. So that's why it's coming forward to you in this manner. But I'll let Caitlin get into the specifics.
and so what you're presenting, again, for clarification, is based on the input that you received from us.
Yes.
Okay. So, Caitlin, if you would, given the conversation we had earlier, if you could please address some of that as well in your presentation.
And Mayor, if I may also add, we need to also present it somewhat as we did before, because this was publicly noticed.
All right, so comprehensively,
It was
sure.
advertised, yes.
Okay, so please start from the beginning.
And I think the PowerPoint will also come back up. So good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the Commission. Caitlin Forbes with Complete Cities Planning Group, here to present item 6A, which is an ordinance to amend the text of the comprehensive plan future land use element. As your staff, Amy, just mentioned, this is largely a cleanup ordinance based on the direction that we received from a couple workshops ago as it relates to the east side, the mixed-use resort land use category, and clarifying the upper maximums as it relates to density and intensity potentials on the east side. Again, there's only a couple of underdeveloped properties that the city would anticipate redeveloping under the revised language, and this is consistent with the practice that the city has had as it relates to the east side in the past. There are a couple other updates that we brought forward just in an effort to update some of the statutory and date references that are included. And as we discussed at LPA, you will see a series of additional ordinances over time. And as Amy mentioned, this was in an effort to kind of piecemeal it and make it more digestible so we could talk about specific topics while addressing some of the more time-sensitive issues, such as the east side. Again, you do have a zoning in progress on the east side currently that limits the actions that the commission can take on potential development applications currently. So the meat of the ordinance was to clarify the maximum levels of development, again, density and intensity for the following land use categories, largely implementing the land development code maximums and ensuring consistency as it relates to those density and intensity levels. The land use categories that were modified include low density, low medium density, medium high density residential, and the mixed use resort land use categories. Again, the larger topic for discussion as part of this ordinance is likely the mixed-use resort land use categories. The others were simply clarified to address some of the language that was utilized in your land development code. We did hear some discussion and direction as it relates to the bonuses. Again, just for the record, the comprehensive plan's job and its role is really to establish the upper maximums, and then your land development regulations come in behind it to implement your comprehensive plan. And that's where the real work as it relates to your bonus program comes into play, and that establishes what types of bonuses are allowed how you achieve those bonuses and the allocations for density and or intensity. So while the comprehensive plan will address and utilize the term bonuses, in no way, shape, or form are the comprehensive plan land use categories granting bonuses in and of itself. It's just clarifying that should you be eligible and be awarded the bonuses that are established in the land development regulations, these are the upper maximums that are potential or possible, and that is clear in the current language that's before you for consideration. We did hear some direction at LPA that you would like to see the additional bonus ordinance come concurrently with the amendments to the mixed-use resort land use category. That would not be ready within the next month. That's something that we're working with staff on the scope and making sure that we have some clear direction on how we're going to bring that forward to you, but that'll be something that'll come to you later this year. So food for thought would be considering taking the ordinance forward with the exception of the amendment to the mixed-use resort land use category, so that at least the other pieces could potentially move forward, and we could come back to you with the amendment to the mixed-use resort at a later date. Just as a reminder, you do have the zoning in progress. I'm not sure when that expires and if there's a concern as to the timing of that.
Well, within your code, the zoning in progress renews every 3 months. However, how long has it been in place now?
I think at least 18 months.
Yeah, so typically a year you're pushing it.
Right.
Now you're well over a year. So the longer you go, the more subject to challenge it is. So I would just forewarn you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we were discussing that if there's a little bit more level of comfort, we could certainly between first and second reading or even before transmittal include some additional language as to clarifying that it's a potential maximum. But again, that is clear in and of itself, just in the role that the comprehensive plan plays, that it's an upper maximum. Because the land development regulations can always be more restrictive than the comprehensive plan, and to that end they are, because you can only achieve those maximums by getting the bonuses and being awarded the bonuses that are established in the land development regulations. So as your consultant, we're pretty comfortable with the language, but we would be certainly willing and able to add some of that additional language for clarification if it gives the commission some comfort.
And so just again for clarification, given what you heard earlier today, if we were to vote again and it went forward, in any way does this sneak in, for lack of a better word, any additional bonuses if we don't have those defined as per the previous comments?
Certainly not. And again, as a reminder, this was the direction of the commission through previous through previous workshops to kind of move forward with establishing the upper maximums that are in the ordinance before you.
Okay.
And if I can clarify, Mayor, also when we refer to the zoning in progress, that applies only to the LDRs. It does not apply to the comp plan.
Right. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Joseph, please.
Yes. So as I said previously, I want to be absolutely clear in the definitions that bonuses are not a given, that they're not to be taken as a given, and I need that defined clearly in order for me to move this forward. So I will be reiterating my previous vote.
Currently, as it's written, are bonuses a given?
Bonuses are addressed in your land development regulations, not through your comprehensive plan, other than to establish upper maximums that are potentially achievable should you be awarded bonuses. Again, all of the heavy lift as it relates to bonuses is done through your land development regulations, which isn't an item before you tonight. So this is just to implement the direction that we got from the commission to allow the maximum potential achievable density and intensity on the east side to remain consistent with how the city's been applying the comprehensive plan and the land development regulations on the east side so far. It's not granting any individual property owner the right to a bonus.
Does this clarify for you?
No, because I'm concerned with perception. So I'm looking to clarify the language so that perception is taken out of the picture. So we can't have someone come to us and say, my perception is that I'm due bonuses. I want it to be made clear that bonuses are not a given.
Mr. City Attorney, could you please speak to how perception is
Well, like
legally?
right, like Caitlin indicated, the comp plan doesn't confer any right to bonus. It's only if you're eligible, this would be the maximum. The only way you can get bonuses is through the LDR. So you can have developers ranting and raving all day long that in the comp plan it says the word bonus, it doesn't give them anything. That's the nature of comp plans.
Okay, so this will always be two separate ordinances, right? There will be an ordinance as it relates to the comprehensive plan, and there will be an ordinance as it relates to your land development regulations. And Commissioner Joseph, we certainly hear you, and we look forward to bringing that ordinance forward as it relates to the land development regulations, but this is a separate piece that is moving forward at this time just to clarify the direction that we received from the commission as it relates to the maximums. And then the way that you are allocated or achieve those bonuses and the density and intensity that goes along with those would come before you as a separate ordinance, just by the nature that they're two separate documents. One's your comp plan, one's your land development regulations.
Oh, I understand. But I also need to clarify that because we have staff who you go back to who does not live in the city, you don't live in the city, we need to have a concern as to what the residents will be living with regarding future development. And that needs to be a major concern.
Okay, I believe that we have consensus that that's absolutely a major concern. I think that we're muddling things up again. So just again, for clarification, I'm going to ask the manager and the city attorney for the record to clarify exactly what it is we're talking about, because I think that we're starting to talk about different things, not what we're voting on. And I hear you and I agree with you. I think we all agree with you, but that's not what's before us right now. Mr. City Manager, if you will, please.
I don't really have anything further to add than what Caitlin has explained.
Okay.
I mean, to the extent that there's any language that says you're not entitled to a bonus and it's discretionary, that's in the LDRs. That belongs in the LDRs. It has no effect in the comp plan. I mean, Caitlin may be able to come up with some language, which is, I can't remember the word we were talking about before.
Potential maximum, I think. Is
Potential maximum, whether we want to say discretionary, we can throw in a word in there, but it really has no effect in your comp plan because it doesn't confer you the right to have a bonus. It just recognizes that your LDR discusses bonuses. And when you go to your LDR, if you're entitled for whatever reason, then these are the maximums that are allowable.
Allowable, but
So,
not guaranteed.
The only way your comp plan doesn't mention bonuses is if you get rid of all bonuses altogether.
Okay.
I have a question. Like what you're being asked here to these clear definitions are you being asked to put language in the comprehensive plan that should really be in the regulations?
I don't want to speak for your city attorney, but I think we're on the same page that the land development regulations are really implementing your bonus program. And so other than referencing a maximum achievable intensity and density in the comprehensive plan, the vast majority of the language as it relates to the bonus program should live in your LDRs as it is today.
So the comprehensive plan is more of like the general, like the big picture vision, right?
That's correct.
And regulations give the specifics. So if you, it's like saying in a comprehensive plan, you would say, we want to see a lot of green space and a lot of trees. And the regulations would say, the trees need to be 3 feet apart. We can only have these kinds of flowers, right? Those are the specifics. So that's why I'm comfortable moving forward, because this accomplishes the big picture direction that we've given you, and the specifics that you guys are uncomfortable with, that you don't see it because they come in the regulations. You're asking for the 3 feet apart trees in the big picture.
I'm happy to have redundancy for clarity.
But I'm
But
saying
it's not a matter, so, in the world of comp plans, it's just if you were to put that language, you're not guaranteed a bonus, it absolutely doesn't belong in your comp plan. Somebody from anywhere in the state looks at that comp plan and be like, what is this? It's not language that belongs there. It belongs in your ordinances. In the world of comp plans, you don't draft them that way. It just I mean, again, we can use one word here and there to bring some comfort, but again, it doesn't guarantee there's no, in the world of comp plans, whether legally or otherwise, there's not a perception of guarantee, because that's just not what the nature of the document is. It's a limitation, it doesn't grant you rights.
Okay. Amy, did you have something to add?
I just want to add one more thing. If you read the future land use categories that we are amending tonight with this text amendment, the mixed-use resort has bonus language, and it's the medium-high density does as well. We actually made it clearer in this amendment that the as-of-right density, we actually use the word maximum as-of-right, is the 2.0 FAR and the 50 units per acre in the mixed-use resort. And then it says later on in the document, if you receive bonuses and TDRs, it's this. But the only thing that's guaranteed is that as of right FAR and density, and that's in the comprehensive plan. And we're actually clarifying that even further by using the words maximum as of right. So I'm not sure that we will be able to bring forward, something in the comprehensive plan that talks about bonuses being discretionary, since that program lives in land development regulations. And staff is very comfortable with this. So it would be great if it could move forward as is.
Thank you.
And if I could say also that the status quo is a lot worse than
Right,
the
what we
proposed
currently have is
changes.
a lot worse.
Right, because right now that's what controls.
Right.
And it's
That's why we're cleaning it up.
inconsistent and right. So it may not be ideal, but it's certainly better than what you have now, because the status quo now is what's not acceptable.
So
And actually, it's not actually lawful at this point.
right, so what is being presented to us is an industry standard and best practices, and that based on our specific direction.
Which was,
Right, and-
because it's very interesting, you guys keep saying the direction of the commission. What was the direction of the commission? To clean up what was going on between the land development rights, between the comp plan, land use, etc. So, but you just said that the staff is the one giving you the directions of how to present this to us. So right now, we don't know how many ordinances or what's coming to us. We just have a very open direction from the commission that everybody in the staff keep repeating that this is because of us. We ask what? To clean up, correct? So, but now, just in the meeting before, we know that the town center north is not being considered here. So it's coming, the vision for the town center north. Also, the northern business district is not here. So that's coming back with the comp plan and the land development regulations, so something else coming. Bonus programs are coming as well. So, and it's interesting that we are cleaning up something that we are not even defining. So we don't have bonuses defined, but we are putting them here in a formula, telling that you can go from your base right now of 50 units to, with bonuses, 80 units, with bonuses and TDRs, 104 units. So really, I think we need to clean up. And I think I will feel a lot more comfortable, and I'm gonna talk for everybody, but I will feel more comfortable knowing what is coming to us. What is it that needs to be cleaned up, and what is it that is coming to us? 1 document, 2 documents, 7 documents, what is it? Because right now, we need to trust that everything that is bring to us, and I don't know how many people is reading this. I read everything, and those 6 pages that I shared with everybody was after reading and reading and researching, because this is gonna fundamentally change what's happening in Sunny Isles. So right now we have all this discussion for the east side. East side is where the bonuses are being used the most, because that's where we can get and reach the stars. That's how high we can get. So it's so interesting that we are being pressured to clean up something that we don't have defined how much cleaning up we need. So we are completely in there having to trust that what is coming to us is what we are giving the direction without giving that specific direction. So I am lost. So if I'm lost, I can imagine you guys should be lost as well. So when they said that the developers, here it said, if developers meet bonus progress requirements, they can increase to the maximum. And we're telling them right now what is the maximum. Also, it says, and I'm going to read it, the comp plan 2030 through policies like future land use policy 14B, allow additional density if developers meet LDR land development requirements. Proposed amendment, this was supposed to be doing what is here in the future land use element ordinance to clarify those allowances. And you guys are clarifying, saying what is the maximum that they can have if they meet those requirements in the land development rights. So we are implying that by the developers complying with those requirements, they are going to get it. So I do believe that maybe we need a workshop where we are going to be clarifying what is wrong and how we are going to get to be it right. Because right now, like I said before, we just need to trust that whatever you guys are bringing us, and when I say you guys, I say the whole team. So I'm not saying you, okay? So, and I do appreciate the job that your team is doing, working with the staff, but like you guys said before, you get direction from our city staff how to present things to us. So I feel lost in what is coming to us. Like I said, just in the meeting before, you guys asked us to pass right now 3 ordinances, knowing that 3 more are coming. And still, we have not defined the biggest big bad word, which is bonuses, which is what it can make a building to go from 50 to 104 units per whatever, acre or whatever. So I am really frustrated with this, clearly, and I do need a little bit more of clarification, because to keep repeating, that is the direction and discretion given by the commission. I don't feel part of that, because I haven't given any direction or any specific.
We've had a number of workshops and discussions about this. I think what I'd like to suggest is, if there's no opposition, is that we have some one-on-one conversations and additional, I guess, clarification, because as Commissioner Stewardson says, she's lost in this, and I think that what you're hearing is that there isn't enough understanding of what it is you're presenting.
I think you just hear the
I
opposite
think
of
the
what I say. Excuse me,
understanding is
1
there.
second. Jerry, I don't want one-on-one. I want open conversation with the people, listening to us and listening to them and listening to the staff. Those one-on-one is the opposite of transparency, is the opposite of what. No, let me finish. Is
How
the
many?
opposite
Wait,
of
1 second.
what
No,
we
we've
need.
had.
No, maybe you had your
We
one-on-ones.
all
No,
have
no,
had
not
many
true.
workshops together.
Not true. Not
Mr.
true.
City Manager, how many workshops have we had to discuss this, approximately?
Amy, do you recall, Caitlin, how many workshops we've had over the past couple of years?
3.
And how
Okay.
many meetings the staff has with them? You want to ask that?
Who is
To give
staff
them
anyway?
directions.
Can you define who
Oh.
staff is?
Mayor,
I'm
Okay,
not
hold
sure.
on 1 second.
Mayor, can I think we've already presented.
Yeah, I think we need to
yeah,
either take a
thank you.
motion or move on. So,
I have one question.
Please.
go
May
ahead.
I have, mine are brief, yeah, I just want to take it from the top. So we're talking only about the east side right now, okay? We're looking at a cleanup job of language that is not clear. Now, my question is, I understand that the comp plan and the LDRs, at some point, some of the parameters have to match. And those parameters would be density and intensity, correct? Because we've had issues in the past where the density and intensity was not defined in the comp plan, or it was not the same, or it was very, let's say, very jumbled up between the comp plan and the LDRs. So my question is, are bonuses supposed to be in the comp plan, defined in the comp plan? From what I heard from the city attorney, I think he said no.
They have to be, if you have them, there has to be a reference to them as to what the maximums are. Remember, your comp plan is your, and that's been part of the problem here, is, for example, in certain places, your FAR was 2.0, but you're building buildings that are over 6. Okay, your comp plan has to be predictable, and it has to give some sort of guidance as to what the maximums are, which is all that's being tried to be done here, is to set those maximums, particularly for an area that's been already developed, essentially. those have to be in place, and you don't have that in place now. Your bonuses are already defined. Everything's defined, but in the wrong places. And the thing is, what is in place now is what the law is. So what the consultants and staff are trying to do, and what we've tried to do through the workshops, is to make them consistent, at least make them legal, because your comp plan doesn't comport with your LDRs. And right now, the way they stand, they can build as high as they want, they get all the bonuses they want, and they max everything out, because that's how your code is written. And until that changes, that's going to continue.
And just to
This
make
is for the east side.
Right.
yes, and
Okay,
just-
but the east side is already basically developed. I mean, what do we have left? Two parcels?
No,
Left.
seven, maybe seven.
But, well, wait a second, but back to what the city attorney is saying is that, as it stands, they would be able to get all the bonuses as written. So even though we're just talking about the east side, it's still important.
Because
No, I understand that. But what I'm trying to understand is, I know that the comp plan and the LDRs need to have information that matches, right?
Correct.
From what I understand, the density and intensity needs to be clearly defined in both, right? In the comp plan and the LDRs.
Correct.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right? Yeah, okay. What about the bonuses?
The bonuses need to be
How is
defined.
that treated?
The
How
maximums
is
are
that treated between? Mhm.
the maximums are set
Okay.
in your comp plan, but the definitions, the entitlements, everything else in regards to the requirements, the prohibitions, everything else regarding your bonuses are in your LDRs.
So any details as far as bonuses and how those are implemented will live in the LDR?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's where they are.
yes, and the state
Okay.
requires
All
that
right, but,
Wait, hold on, Alex,
okay,
hold on.
go ahead.
Just
Sorry.
as a point, the state requires us to have that language in your comprehensive plan as it relates to the maximum intensity and density. That's something that's a requirement of the state. And just as a point, because their land development regulations can be more restrictive, there's certainly cases where cities establish upper maximums in their comprehensive plan that aren't achievable through the land development regulations. You could establish a 10.0 FAR and a 200 dwelling unit an acre intensity and density in your comprehensive plan, and your land development regulations are more restrictive. You could never achieve those maximums in the comprehensive plan, right? So there's the overarching maximums that are established in the comprehensive plan, but to our point, they're only achievable through the land development regulations, and you have to comply with all the land development regulations and the programs that are established therein to reach those maximums.
Got it.
Yeah, but if we are aligning the comp plan with the land development regulations, we are formalizing those maximums in density.
We don't, because you can reduce those. When you get to your LDRs, you can make, if you want to get rid of all, you could have set your limit, as Caitlin just said, you can set your limit in the comp plan, and then when you get to your LDRs, make those more restrictive when they don't get those. Because
So
the only
And
way they
make
get
those
them is
as
through the
restrictive
LDR.
as we want to.
Which is the opposite of what we said from the very beginning, that we are trying to make both of them align and make sense.
Because they're already built, the buildings are already built.
No, but
That's
there
why
is
we're
more
doing
to
it.
build. That's the
There's still
problem. There is a
seven
lot more to build. So
possibilities.
again, then we have two different. We are aiming either to aligning the comp plan in LDRs or not.
But the-
And when we align them, we are formalizing maximum, and we are formalizing those maximums here right now without defining what is a bonus. So, and that is my problem from the very beginning. So why don't you bring us a big document, and we can have one meeting maybe for just this to make sure that we are doing the right thing? Because like I said, we are formalizing maximums. If we do this cleanup and we give to the developers what we are doing, that's a dream world of a developer. We are telling them right now, basically, if it's right now like that, okay, so they're gonna continue with the dream world. Because right now we're telling them that we are formalizing in our papers, after all this job and all these hours spent, the maximum they can do with bonuses. And we are not defining those.
But again, we're dealing with an area that's already developed. If you go
But
ahead.
it's not.
It is, because if you go back now and you say, okay, no more bonuses, or bonuses only at 10%, you have an entire east side over here that's built, that's gonna be illegal, basically, because now your comp plan, they're all gonna be in violation of your comp plan.
Like what
And
happened with
then-
Town Center Park
Right,
South.
and then every single developer that's trying to develop those lots consistent with everything you've allowed for the last 20 years is gonna sue you in court.
Okay,
And
let's
they're
wait
gonna
for
have,
that.
they're, and
So
they're gonna
here,
prevail.
okay, so I think that what we need to do is we'll take a motion and move on, and then we'll figure out how we're going to deal with this for next month. So I'll take a motion.
So I still have a question that wasn't answered.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you speak about staff, I'm not understanding whose direction you were receiving information from.
I'll answer that. They received direction essentially from me, based on what you want.
So your
Yes,
staff.
they don't operate independently.
So
Yes, there are
Amy is-
consultant.
Amy is staff?
Yes, of course
and-
she
And
is.
your staff.
That's right,
So,
yes.
okay.
They don't work independently
So-
from us. They work hand in hand
Yes.
with us in conjunction
But they were talking
with the
about
workshops
departments
that
as
we've
well.
had
They were talking
and the
about
direction of the
departments.
commission. That's how it
No,
works.
but they were talking about departments, that they received information from departments. Which are the departments that you're receiving information from?
I
Direction.
don't remember mentioning departments. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think your question's been answered.
So you're only receiving, your direction is coming from Amy and the city manager?
Their direction is coming
That's
from
it.
me,
Yes,
not from Amy, from me.
okay.
Right.
All right,
Thank you.
so I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Stuyvesant? Commissioner Viscara?
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph?
No.
Mayor Svechen?
Yes.
The ordinance is 2-2.
Okay,
The
so-
motion is 2-2.
okay, thank you. All right, next item, please.
I guess the motion dies.
Motion.
It's a
is
tie,
status quo.
so it can be brought back, but there's a bunch of formalities. It can't come back the next meeting, because if we try to bring it back all at one, you're talking about 6 months or more. I mean, it's gonna be.
So I have the same question I need to ask. Will the consultants be revising the language before the next month's meeting?
You're not
No,
gonna hear
it's
this
gonna
in
be
the
at
next
least-
month.
We're not
So
going to
then
hear
if
it.
you're not gonna be
If you're all
doing
asking for the
anything,
bonuses to be defined,
We'll
you're
be-
taking this process probably another 6 months. And that puts you at risk.
Okay, Mauricio?
6B is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending the infrastructure and capital improvements element of the adopted City of Sunny Isles Beach Comprehensive Plan to clarify level of service standards, providing for transmittal to the State Land Planning Agency and other review agencies identified in Florida Statute 163.3184, providing for repealer, providing for severability, providing for codification, and providing for an effective date.
Good evening again, Mayor and Commissioners, this time as Mayor and Commissioners. Again, for the record, Jeff Kadams, Complete Cities Planning Group, consultant for the city. This ordinance is a housekeeping ordinance that is fixing some conflicts in level of service standards within the comprehensive plan. That's all it does, and we recommend that you approve it on first reading.
Thank you. Do we have public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Questions? We'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance passes on first reading 4-0.
Okay, next item, 6C.
6C is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending the Land Development Regulations, Section 265-11, Procedures of General Applicability, providing for a new Article 6, Adequacy of Facilities, Concurrency, to establish concurrency procedures and requirements, providing for repealer, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
Again, Jeff Kadams for the record. This ordinance establishes concurrency provisions in your land development regulations where they're required to be by state law. Currently, they're not articulated in your land development regulations, but they are only articulated in your comprehensive plan. This takes the pertinent information from the comp plan, puts it in your code, and provide some finer grain procedures. That is my summary of this item.
Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right, any questions? Take a motion, please.
So moved.
Second. Mauricio?
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen.
Yes.
The ordinance passes on first reading 4-0.
Thank you.
6D is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending ordinance number 2024-618, approving budget amendment number BA 2425-05 to the city's operating and capital improvement budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year, authorizing the city manager to do all things necessary to implement the terms and conditions of this ordinance, providing for an effective date.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is a routine budget amendment that transfers some vehicles into correct line items within the budget.
Okay. Do we have any public speakers?
No, ma'am.
Take any comments from the commission? I'll take a motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Mauricio?
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Viscara,
Yes.
Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Mayor Svechen. The ordinance passes on first reading 4-0. Okay. We are on to section 8, ordinances for second reading. 8A is an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, Florida, amending sections 161-10, 161-11, 161-14 of Chapter 161 of the city's Code of Ordinances entitled Flood Damage Prevention to specify elevation of manufactured homes in flood hazard areas, providing for applicability, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for repealer, providing for an effective date.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this is the second reading of an ordinance that amends our code entitled Flood Damage Protection. This will help us in the future lower our community rating system.
I'd like to know for the record that the mayor left early and has passed the gavel to Commissioner Viscara as a presiding officer.
So, it's my turn then?
Yes, so
9A?
right now,
Or-
we're on 8A,
8A. All right.
and we have no public comment for the record.
I think I'm supposed to be the presiding officer, actually.
No, she passed the gavel.
Oh, she passed.
Yes.
Okay. So this is being presented by Dylan Battles. Is that the city manager's item?
Yes, I just,
Okay.
it's the second reading of an ordinance that we presented that revises our code regarding flood damage protection that will help to lower our community rating and help pass that savings along to the residents.
Okay. Is there any comment from the commission? Any public comment?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right.
Motion to approve.
Let me get a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is an ordinance, ma'am.
Okay.
Let me just take a roll call. Commissioner Joseph,
Yes.
Commissioner Stuyvesant,
Yes.
Commissioner Viscara.
Yes.
The ordinance is adopted 3-0.
Okay, the next one, we already did 9A, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So next one is 9B?
Yes. 9B is a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, authorizing the Chief of Police in accordance with the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984 to expend forfeiture funds from the Florida Department of Justice federal forfeiture account to purchase fitness equipment for the police department. And we're also going to hear the companion item 9C, which is approving an agreement with fitness showrooms of Long Island for the purchase and installation of exercise equipment for the Sunny Isles Beach Police Department.
All right, this is from Chief Edward Santiago. Stan, are you going to take that? Or
Yes,
you
I'm
have-
going to take
okay,
all of them.
Great.
Yes. This, thank you. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, these two companion items, one allows us to expend Department of Justice funds to build out a space as a gym for our police department. And the second item is the actual purchase and installation of the equipment for the police department.
And Any comment from the commission?
No?
We have no public comment.
Public comment? I did see they started doing the equipment up in the police department. It's looking good. Okay, anyway, vote, I guess.
Motion.
Yeah, make a motion.
Motion.
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
I made the motion
Second.
already.
Second.
Somebody seconds,
you.
all right.
No problem.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. 9D is a resolution authorizing the expenditure of budgeted funds for the purchase of 2 Ford F-150s and 1 Ford Explorer from Bartow Ford.
Okay, city manager?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the commission, this item allows for the purchase of a total of 3 vehicles for the police department. If you recall, you all gave us the ability to purchase vehicles in advance of any future price increases, and that's what we're trying to do here.
I have a comment.
Okay,
As I stated in the agenda review, Ford this week notified Ford owners of vehicles from 2021 to 2025 that there was a recall of every vehicle regarding backup cameras. So I'd like to be sure that we take that into account when we're purchasing these vehicles, to be sure that the software is upgraded as recommended by the recall.
Yes, sir, we will. Yes, thank you.
okay. Commissioner Stuyvesant?
No comments.
Any public comment? I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, in
All
favor?
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
9E is a resolution approving a letter agreement with Keith and Associates, doing business as Keith, to conduct a comprehensive vulnerability assessment.
Okay, and standing in for Rick is
Me.
Susan. All right, have at it.
So we applied for a grant through DEP to fund a vulnerability study, and we were awarded that grant. And we would like to utilize Keith and Associates through our CCNA process of preparing them to perform the study for us.
Okay. Commissioners, any comments?
No?
Okay, public comment?
No, ma'am.
I'll take a motion.
Motion.
Fabiola,
Yes.
you second? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Vice Mayor, I'm sorry, I'm not even asking you. Are you on board here? Are you listening?
I'm here, I'm listening.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I forgot to
yeah,
ask.
yeah.
Okay,
It's okay, it's okay. I'll chime in if I have to.
okay, I know you will. Okay, Mauricio, next one.
9F is a resolution approving the issuance of a proclamation recognizing the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Sunny Isles Beach.
Okay, yeah, I'm guessing this one's Susan.
This will be me.
All right.
I have the honor of bringing you the very first resolution for your new process to request a proclamation designating July as Parks and Recreation Month.
I would like to co-sponsor the proclamation and have my name on it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that's, Jerry, any comments?
No comment.
Okay, I'll take a motion. Oh, no, public comment.
No public comment, ma'am.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And annual recognition of Jewish Solidarity Day. G, I'm sorry, I'm doing your job, Mauricio.
9G is a resolution commemorating Jewish Solidarity Day as a special day in the city of Sunny Isles Beach, providing that Jewish Solidarity Day shall be recognized annually during the first week of May through the issuance of a proclamation.
Okay,
Yes.
and this is being brought by Commissioner Joseph.
Yes, this is my resolution. I'm bringing it before the city manager to, and the vote of the commission to allow for the first Sunday in May of each year to be Jewish Solidarity Day, where we recognize that Sunny Isles is one of the largest Jewish communities in South Florida, if not Florida itself, regarding the size of our city. We have a diverse Jewish community from every continent, and in that regard, we have a lot to celebrate, and I ask that we set aside the first Sunday in the month of May to have a celebration at Gateway Park with not only Jewish residents, but all of our residents, to celebrate the accomplishments of Jews throughout the world to the benefit of everyone. Any speakers?
I'll take, well, first, I mean, it's your item, if that's all you have to say, because I'll take
Yes, I would
comment
like
from the
to
commission.
have speakers and any input from the commission. And then I might have something else to say.
Commissioner Stuyvesant. Commissioner Joseph, something else? You want to say something else?
I would like to ask for any speakers. Are
Okay,
there any speakers
they'll get
from
the
the
public
audience?
comment is coming. I just want to make sure that you're.
Yes,
so
I'm
we have
fine with
nothing
it.
else to say? Okay.
No.
All right, so, well, I'll give you my comments is that, you know, I really like the idea, I told you before, I really like the idea of the Jewish Solidarity Day. I like the way that we did it, you know, in the recognition. But I have to express my concerns as I did before, when we're combining, when we're having an event and it's around a religious concept or a religious situation. Please let me finish. Then we have that constitutional rub that we've had before, which we discussed also in terms of the donations and the in-kind donations and all of that about supporting religion. Government is not allowed to support religion, but we're able to recognize the day. We're able to. There's a space in which we can do things, but I think once you're talking about spending funds, and by the way, you say small event, but then you say gateway, so those two things, but that's separate, because even if it were small, I think we're running into trouble, and we talked about that, you know, a little bit in our last meeting, and so City Attorney, how did we look into it? We have any different direction than we had at the last conversation?
The last meeting, it was guised as an event or a celebration or recognition to bring various congregations together that was somehow allegedly in disharmony. And that would be a concern with regards to expending any funds in that effort. We recognize, as we do nationally, I believe, the Jewish Heritage Month. So those are things that are permissible, as you stated. We can make recognitions, but it gets a little tricky when you start expending funds.
Is it okay to designate a day, like what the first part, is that okay to say on this particular day in Sunny Isles, it'll be, is that part okay?
Well, you can always designate a day, but you kind of open up a Pandora's box, obviously, because a lot of people want recognition. So you could get requests for other recognitions as well. So once
But
you do it for one,
constitutionally, I mean, I understand policy, you know, that's another issue, but
well,
constitutionally, it's okay to recognize a day. I mean, we do it with
yeah,
proclamations all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
you can. You just open up the door to other folks possibly wanting to do that, and then you get in a tough spot saying no. But constitutionally, yes, you can.
Okay. So that would be my reservation. I don't think we can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so for people that are not Jewish, we need to clarify that there's a difference between Judaism and Jewry. Do you understand that difference?
Why don't you enlighten us?
Okay, Judaism is the religion, just like Catholicism. Jewry is being Jewish, which relates to being Jewish is not only it's not a religion, it's a people. Jews are a people. We have a state, we have a country, we have genetics that are common to only Jews. We have diseases that are common to only Jews. different than other religions. So in that regard, I'm not asking for a day to celebrate Judaism. I'm asking for a day during Jewish Heritage Month to celebrate the history of the Jewish people, not the religion. People that have contributed, Jewish people that have contributed to history, to contributions to health, to everything that benefits mankind throughout history would be celebrated on that day.
Okay.
Not religion. It's not meant to be a religious day.
Okay, I hear you. I don't agree with you.
Is that clearer?
I don't agree with you. I
So,
think in the end,
okay,
you and I
so-
have had this debate in numerous ways, Jerry.
But it's
No,
not, okay.
wait, because it's, you think that if you label something differently,
No, it is
Yes.
absolutely,
okay,
there is absolutely a difference that you're not understanding apparently.
I guess not. I think that this is,
Okay.
that you're putting us in a constitutional
So,
problem.
okay. So at this
That's
point,
just
I
where I
would like to table this until next month.
So you have a motion to
I would like to make a motion to table it
defer.
till
We
next
have,
month.
there is public comment. We can,
For the record, there are no public speakers
okay.
that have signed up. No one
There
has
are
signed up.
none?
No.
So no public
Okay.
speakers.
So I would,
So, if
Yeah, yeah.
you're gonna
Can
have a
you-
procedural motion, you wouldn't be able to have speakers anyway, so it depends whether you're doing a procedural motion or not.
But if may I, can you give them the direction then to speak as an open forum, citizens next, to give them the chance to write whoever wants to talk?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I'm not sure how you
Yeah, to
understand.
let them know that they can request to, in the citizens forum, they can speak for 3 minutes. So they
Yeah,
can write right now.
yes.
You can get a card and you can talk next, okay? Whoever wants to talk.
All right.
I'm sorry, just
ahead,
for the record, because Mayor Svechin, since she had to step away, she did want to have her comments incorporated into the record regarding this item. And basically, she states that a few residents have shared a message with her, which they indicate was sent to them by Commissioner Joseph, which is presumably a post that was circulated online regarding having the residents come out and support both this item and an item that was scheduled at the workshop at 3 o'clock. And she just wanted to know for the record that she is in absolute support of an annual Jewish Heritage Month celebration during the month of May.
Okay.
So with that, just to clear the record, is there a motion on the floor to defer?
yes,
clarify.
I'm making because that does not count as a vote, correct?
No.
No.
Okay, so I have a motion to defer till next month.
It needs to be seconded.
I second.
All in favor?
Okay. Aye.
Any opposed?
No, I'm not opposed.
Okay. Thank you. So the item is deferred.
Thank you for showing up, everyone. I appreciate it.
Okay, we are now in section 11 of the Citizens Forum. We have 2 speakers. First is Isaac Hirsch.
Oh my God. Okay, okay.
Okay,
Yes, you have 3 minutes. A name and address, please.
perfect. My name is Isaac Hirsch. I live in Boynton Beach, Florida, currently visiting here. I'm with a organization called JVAC, otherwise known as the Jewish Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Just wanted to touch on some points that I know were mentioned earlier. Typically do not speak from notes, but since we're being timed, just wanted to get a few points across. I wanted to begin by expressing my deep respect for Hatzalah, which was mentioned here as an organization. They do great work here in the city, and on a personal level, Andre is like a brother to me. So, they do great work. That being said, I believe JVAC's mission and its core values are more closely aligned with the direction that the city is heading in, particularly with its mission including of inclusivity and Title VI compliance. JVAC was built on the remarkable foundation that Hatzalah created. But after years of faithfully serving alongside them, primarily in the Orthodox communities, we felt a responsibility to broaden the model. We wanted to open up this concept to everyone, not just Orthodox men serving within the Orthodox Jewish community, but anyone who's qualified and wants to help save a life, regardless of race, religion, gender, or background. That principle isn't just aspirational, it's practical. For example, if any of you on this commission, or your family or friends were paramedics or EMTs, JVAC is currently the only faith-based EMS agency in the state of Florida that you'd be eligible to serve with. That's because we don't exclude. We believe that every resident of Sunny Isles Beach should have the opportunity to be a part of something meaningful and to positively impact their neighbors. Now, when it comes to funding and service, we're not here to replace Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Let me be very clear. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue is one of the best departments in the country. Their skill, experience, and resource are unmatched, and no volunteer agency, including ours, can or should compete with that. We are a supplemental agency, and proudly so. We're licensed at the same level as the other organization being considered, but our approach is leaner, more community integrated, and focused on filling specific gaps when needed. Let's talk numbers. Okay. Over a year ago, when the city was discussing a $500,000 sponsorship for an ambulance, we offered to do it for $350,000. That helped reset the entire conversation. The truth is, we'd gladly accept that support, but from our perspective, even the $350,000 is excessive. We're mission-driven, not profit-driven, and there are smarter ways to partner. For example, we're already tied into the state 911 system, the only agency tied into the state 911 system, the only faith-based, I should say, which opens the door for seamless cooperation. One option would be for the city to grant us an MOU to work alongside the current existing services of MDFR within the city limits. That would enhance response capabilities without disrupting the incredible services residents already receive. And it would cost the city nothing. That's $350,000 the city could use elsewhere.
Okay, you can finish your sentence.
Okay, thank you. In addition, we've traditionally been supported by charitable donations within the communities we serve. Sunny Isles is home to many generous residents with charitable foundations and donor-advised funds, and we're confident that people here would step up to support if the community gives us the support, if the commission gives us their support.
Okay, thank you.
Just to summarize, JVAC is ready, JVAC is qualified, and we reflect the city's inclusivity values where everybody can serve.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Vitaly Falkovich.
Welcome back.
My name is Vitaly Falkovich, 9280 Southwest 167 Terrace, Palmetto Bay, Miami. As a visitor here and having a business and coming in here with the clients twice a week, one of the things that I've seen is, man, you definitely have an amazing police department. Number two is when government protects, administration protects Jews, and come with Commissioner Joseph. You know, it's amazing where somebody like me can feel safe because of the greatest police department, greatest police chief, which is thank you to our city manager. Another thing is that you guys were discussing about Hezbollah ambulance. One of the things is you have two stations here that support Sunny Isles Beach. One is Hanover and one is number 10. The thing is if you have a major disaster and nobody can be, you never know when you have a major disaster happen. Don't go far. All you have to do is have two accidents at the same time. And you have multiple people that need to be put in the hospital. And God forbid that happened between 3:30 in the afternoon and 5 o'clock. Your ambulances are stuck. There's no way they can get to somebody. By having an ambulance here that is stationed here in Sunny Isles Beach, you basically complete that ambulance going to get there on time to save somebody's life. And I think it's very important, and I would really support to see that another ambulance service voluntarily will be provided to Sunny Isles Beach, because you guarantee that they're going to save somebody's life, whether it's going to be from a heart attack, whether it's going to be from a major disaster, whether it's going to be from a car accident. I guarantee you, I had got to drive here in the morning today, and I think I spent 3 hours just in traffic to get to 2 clients, to serve 2 clients with papers. I spent 3 hours just in traffic. You know, how you guarantee that ambulance is gonna, you got 2 ambulances, and God forbid you got something happen, you have a major car accident, that you have multiple patients that need to be transported to the hospital, how you guarantee that those ambulances are gonna respond to the call? You know, I think it will be very important to have another ambulance service here. And I do believe that whatever you guys decide which ambulance service will, I think it will be important for them to have money to have an ambulance station in Sunny Isle Beach. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speakers.
The last speaker that we have is Alex Tehran.
Okay, Alex, coming up. I give your name and address, please.
City Manager, my name is Alex Tehran. I'm a Jewish, and I'm proud to be a Jew. I immigrated from Union.
Can you speak closer to the mic, please?
I immigrated from Soviet Union because I'm a Jew. Judaism is a religion. So is the Eastern holidays. It's also a religion holiday, and we all celebrate it. Every year I enjoy the Christmas trees in the Heritage Park. I enjoy the beautiful Christmas tree, which costs us money, in a Sunny Isle Park. Why not to enjoy one day a year for the Jewish people? We have Spanish heritage. What we do not have? Why not to have a Jewish heritage? Thank you. Thank you, Council, to bring that to attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. Any other speakers?
No, ma'am.
All right. Before we conclude, I just wanted to make mention of, I wanted to give a shout out to our police department, our fire department, the Coast Guard, for the great job they did with the boat fires that we had last week. So I just wanted to recognize that. And with that, meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming. See you next month.
Bye.